the types of research. So before that, I'm going to share PPT with you all. And again, I will request you all that during the session also, if you have any query, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask. I think it will be visible. Okay. So it is visible, I think. So today we will start with the methods of research. First, here are some of the methods I have mentioned here, because yesterday we talked about the qualitative, quantitative, action, applied, and different methods of research, types of research. So in our today's session, we are going to start with the basic types of research, like experimental research, descriptive research, historical research, qualitative methods, quantitative methods. Okay. Now, so please share yesterday PPT or material. Okay. Okay, ma'am. So I request ma'am, Dhara ma'am, please that resolve the query of our participant in the chat box. So yesterday, when I was talking about that all, I talked about the classification of research on the basis of the different aspects of research. So now I'm just sharing another screenshot with you all, that how you can classify research on the basis of different aspects. Okay. I'm just sharing that. Okay. I'm sharing the screenshot. Okay. I think it is visible to everyone. Clearly visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Thank you so much, sir. So, here are the basic classification of research on the basis of objective, outcome, logic, process, inquiry, and ideas or concept. Okay. So, first we will start with the objective. On the basis of objectives, how we are going to decide our research method. First, we are going to talk about that. So, when we talk about the first type, that is descriptive research, the main objective of descriptive research is describing the state of affairs as it prevails at the time of study. Okay. Means whatever you are going to research about, you are going, the description means in detail you are talking about. Okay. Means if your research aims to find out the result from any population, then what you are going to do, you are going to systematically describe about the population. Okay. You are going to talk about the situation, you are going to talk about the phenomena. Okay. And your descriptive research is going to answer about the questions who, what, where, what. Like in journalism we used to say 5W1H. Okay. So whenever your research is going to answer about the 5W1H, that is descriptive research. Okay. Means in detail, whenever you are talking about the things, that comes under the descriptive research. Descriptive research is also all about the describing the phenomena, observing and drawing conclusion from it. Like for example, like if the budget session of India is, I think, coming in the Feb 1st. On the Feb 1st, it is always released by the government of India. After the releasing of that budget, what I'm just giving the example of short descriptive research. Okay. So on the next day, in every newspaper, you are going to find out the details of each and everything related to that budget. Okay, because that particular whole pages of the newspaper covers the what, where, when, how, and all. Means it gives answer to the 5W1H to, like, in a very simple manner. Okay, like in simple words, it provides each and every details to the citizen of India. So that can be a small, example of descriptive research. Don't get confused with the actual research what we are doing. But yes, journalists are also doing the research before publishing anything. So that is also a part of descriptive research. Now, what can be the is that my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay, thank
audible.
you so much, man. Thank you so much. So what are the benefit of descriptive research now? Because descriptive research deals with a large sample. Okay, so their data collection is very efficient. Okay, like for example, if you are doing research on any social media platform, for example, I'm saying, so maybe in that, what you are going to do, you are going to collect data with the help of survey. Okay, so if you're going to collect data with survey, then you will use the different softwares like Google Form, Microsoft Form, and all to collect the data. Because previously people are collecting data from the handwritten form or printed forms, but right now, due to the digital era, you all can collect data from the Google Form. So I think it is very easy to collect with the help of Google Forms and all. And whenever you are choosing the large sample size, it makes your study more better. Okay, and it helps you to prove your study in a front of people that yes, whatever I have done, I have a large sample of data, I have researched on the various perspective of society, and it is going to help you to to prove your research in a front of people that yes, your data is not fabricated, your data is not fake. Okay, so it also help you to explain explain each and everything to people in detail with the help of large sample sizes. So it's a first benefit. Another is the variety of observational method like case study method, survey method can be used in it. Okay, yes, just like I was discussing about the survey, and even you can add the case study methods like for example, if you are going to research on the policy making of the government, definitely you can go through the different case studies. Okay, to understand the phenomena, to understand the the policies, to understand the basic things what you want to include in your policy. Another thing is descriptive study can use both qualitative and quantitative data, because it provides the holistic view of the subject. So, when we are choosing the mixed method, we are choosing the quantitative as well as qualitative thing. Definitely, it is really good for our own research, because no one can say it is biased. Okay, because sometimes whenever you are doing the qualitative research, people say this that you already just copied and pasted or like this. Okay, so when you include quantitative data in that also, then it makes your research more reliable, it makes your research more validated. Okay, after that, what is the another benefit? As a descriptive research is conducted in a respondent's own environment, so data integrity and accuracy are assured. There is no manipulation of environment, so it is not a true experimental study. This line you have to understand, because whenever you are doing the descriptive research, uh, you just collect data from your own surrounding. Means, okay, your nearby surrounding where you can reach. Okay, that data is going to respond on the basis of what you ask. Like for example, if someone is many another parts of the India, if I am in Chhattisgarh, and if I will take data from the Punjab or in the southern areas of India or the northern areas of India, there can be chances of the responses can be manipulated on the basis of their ideology, on the basis of their thinking, on the basis of their opinion and all. But if I'm going to choose the problem of my own state, then maybe it can be the thing, the people can relate from that issue. Okay. So there is a very less chance in the manipulation of data, because if anyone wants to resolve the issue of your own state, then definitely people are going to support you. Okay. So to collect large sample size, to conduct study in your own environment, descriptive research is very good. Okay. Someone can also says that no, like in the another state also we can collect data. Yes, it is possible to collect data from the various state, but there are a lot of chance in the manipulation of data. Okay. So that's why there is a line mentioned in the reference, like there is no manipulation of environment, so it is not a true experimental study. Like whenever you are doing the experimental study, sometimes you manipulate the things. Like for example, if you're talking about the dependent independent variable, sometimes you manipulate the variables. On the basis of that, you find out that what is going on. Okay, for example, if the in the summer season, if the heat is more, then there is lot of chances of drought in a particular region. But for example, if the situation like in the some of the areas the temperature is moderate, then there can be less situation of drought and all. Okay. So like this only, when you are doing your experiment, because we cannot do experiment with the weather or the climate, but I'm just using the example of dependent or independent variable. Okay. So if you are doing your own research where you can manipulate your variable, that comes under the experimental study, that not comes under the descriptive study. Okay. So these are the benefits of the descriptive study, which we have discussed. Now, what are the limitations that also we have to talk about? Okay, because many times UGC NET asks questions related to the particular, the method of doing research. Okay, they will give you just a situation, and again they will ask that which method you are going to use in this situation to find out your results to do the research. Okay. Now, what are the limitations? As the most of the descriptive studies rely on the observation and observational data, their research process is difficult to replicate. This makes it different from the experiment research. So yes, this is a very one of the limitation of this study, that because it is always depends on the observational data. Okay. So sometimes you cannot replicate your process again. Okay. So that is a very one of the issue with descriptive study. Even it is also, there are some poorly framed questions. Example, if you are doing the descriptive study and you have very bad questions in your survey. Okay. So that can lead to the very a kind of compromised result in your study. So that are the, so like in a comparison of experimental study, you are just noting down the
Sir,
data received.
your voice is
Okay.
breaking.
Okay.
Every
Okay. Sir.
alternative of 2 seconds, it's breaking.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, sir. Right now it is audible, sir.
Bit
Not.
stuck, sir. Can you speak again, sir?
Uh, is that audible now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So I was talking about the limitations. Okay. So if you are framing the poor kind of question in your survey, then definitely it is going to lead to the a kind of compromised result of descriptive research. So these are the basic limitations. Okay. And for example, I'm saying I'm sharing. Okay. Okay. Some of the more limitations I'm going to talk about the descriptive research. There is little possibility of using statistical tools in the. I was telling you about that in descriptive research, you can use both qualitative as well as quantitative. But yes, there is a less possibility of using statistical tool. Okay, like SPSS. Okay, These are the basic tools which people use to find out the mean, median, mode. Okay. So there is very little possibility, less possibility to use statistical tools in this research. There is a possibility that presence of an observer could interfere with the respondent's ability to answer accurately. This effect is called the observer effect. So this term is very important. You can note it down. What is observer? When the presence of an observer could interfere with a respondent's ability to answer accurately, then this is known as the observer's effect. I'm going to repeat it again. That is known as observer effect. Okay. Like if the observer is present in the particular surrounding and respondent is not able to give proper answer or not able to give accurate answer, that effect, okay, is called observer's effect. Okay. Here are some examples of descriptive study. The main examples are the National Sample Survey or census method. Okay. These are the examples of descriptive research. Okay. Like whenever, right now, government announced the census, like they are going to do the, I think they are going to do the census. They will start from this year. And I think till 2029, they're going to give you result. Exactly, I'm not sure about it. Okay, so these are the basic limitations. Now, where you can use this descriptive study, I'm going to discuss about it. Where can be the application of this descriptive study? Okay. So you can change the slides or just first slide it. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I will change the slide because I'm still talking about the descriptive research. But when I'm going to share about some another research, I'm going to change the slide. Okay. Because I have shared this types of, I think that is visible to everyone because I have not shared the slide right now. I have shared the picture where we were discussing about the descriptive research first. Okay. So again, I will start with the applications of the descriptive research, like where you can use this. Okay. Descriptive research you can use in understanding the behavior, traits, and the pattern of the participants. Okay, because whenever you are making the survey question, you most of the time use the close-ended question. I think everyone is knowing about the close-ended and open-ended question, where in close-ended question you have 4 options, and in the case of open-ended, participants can give their without any restriction, okay, without any options and all. They can just write their own answers. So like whenever you are giving this kind of situation to the participants, you can understand their behavior. Okay, like if you are choosing the Likert scale, we used to have a different scales in the research survey also. Whenever we are preparing the surveys, we use different scales. On the basis of that, we used to prepare the close-ended question. So on the basis of that, you can observe their behavior, you can observe their patterns. Okay, like if most of the people choose similar options, then that is going to definitely clear your doubt about the research, or that can also provide you answer related to a research. Because most of the time when you used to prepare a Google form, whenever participants choose their options, Google form prepares the pie chart diagram. They used to prepare the bar graphs and all on the basis of the participants' answer. So through that, you can understand that what kind of behavior, what kind of traits, what kind of patterns they are showing. Okay. So after that, descriptive research can be designed to measure trends as well. Okay, like if you want to measure a trend in the social media that right now after the war between India and Pakistan, what is a trend in social media? Then you can definitely perform this descriptive research, and you can just prepare surveys. Like most of the time, YouTube and Instagram also showing that survey questions to you. Okay, they are showing survey question related to their own contents. But yes, you can also prepare this kind of surveys that what people are thinking about it. Okay, so you can also analyze about the trend with the help of this descriptive research to do comparison in the terms of difference and similarities. Yes, that is also possible with the help of descriptive research. Like if you are comparing the two policies of the different state. For example, if you are right now there is a news of today's news that Mizoram became the first literate state in the India, fully literate state. Okay, so if you want to compare the literacy rate of Mizoram with the another state, those who are still growing in the case of literacy, you can just do the descriptive research and you can find out the difference between them. Okay, you can also analyze the data, and on the basis of that you can just go to the result that what are the reason that is still the state which is growing, which is still less literate in the comparison of Mizoram or any another state like Kerala and all. So you can just get the results, okay, with the help of descriptive research. Now, there this descriptive research, there are the two types. Okay, I'm just explaining the terms in a brief because there is no need of understanding each and everything in detail, because we already discussed about the descriptive research limitations, its benefits, its application. So I'm just telling you about the basic types. Like first one is cross-sectional study, another one is longitudinal study. Okay, like whenever you are doing one-time interaction or one-time data collection, that is cross-sectional study. But whenever you are collecting data again and again from the same individual or a same group of people, that comes under the longitudinal study. For example, if I'm doing the longitudinal study on the effect of AI in the education sector for the period of 5 years, so again and again I'm going to observe the things that after 5 years what are the situation right now. Like if I'm starting it in the year 2025, then what will be the situation in the 2030. Okay, so if you collect data once or you do the one-time interaction with the individuals, that comes under the cross-sectional study. And if you doing that process, repeating that process again and again, that comes under the uh, longitudinal study. Okay, because longitudinal study takes time, so that's why people used to prefer cross-sectional study more. Okay, now uh, I have talked about the survey. Okay, I'm just going to move to the another part, another type of research. I'm going to share PPT right now, because another one is here is correlation, but I'm going to talk about the exploratory, and another also we are going to talk about. Okay, I'm just sharing it. Okay, I think it will disappear. So this is the another research type which we are going to discuss about this. That is experimental research. Okay, I think that is clearly visible to everyone. Okay. So when we used to talk about the experimental studies and all, as I have already discussed on the wait for a second, I'm just moving that. Okay. So, like before starting the experimental research, I just want to quote one of the prominent scholar or one of the prominent philosopher. Like, men do not think they know a thing till they have grasped the why of it. This is said by the Aristotle. I think everyone is knowing about the Aristotle. He is also the father of political science and he is well-known philosopher. So, like we already discussed a lot on experimental research, that how you can use dependent or independent variables. So, where a method where variable are manipulated to observe their effect on the another variable. Okay, to the other variable, that is the experimental research. Okay, where you are just going to do experiment on manipulating the variables. Okay, like there was the case when COVID-19 came in India. What scientists done, that they used to collect sample from the people, and on that they started experimenting that which kind of medicine or which kind of chemical is going to react with them and what is going to kill them. Okay, what is going to take it out from the body, or there are the many situations at that time. Like there was the nasal spray, there was the vaccination, there was the different kinds of medicines people were taking that time. So what was the main reason behind doing all that thing? They were manipulating the data. They were manipulating the variable that was the COVID virus, and they are manipulating with the help of medicines. Okay, and after that, when they observe the effect on that particular virus, okay, they understand about the basic results. Maybe that particular medicine is going to react on that or not. Okay, but whatever are the things which is helpful during that period, people use that each and everything as an experiment. Okay, so when we are saying what is experimental research, we always used to perform that, not in a large scale, but in our regular life. Okay, we always used to do experiments with doing manipulating the variables. Variable can be even present in our kitchens, variable can be also present in our surroundings. And when you are doing the experiment, and whenever the results comes according to your observation or your aim, that is a experimental research. Okay, now what are the important points I have mentioned in this slide? Like it establishes the cause like effect relationship. What is a cause, what is a relationship between the two variable? It tells about that. Okay, it involves the control and experimental groups. Okay, like whenever you are doing the experimental research in the laboratories, that all are controlled. Okay, like if you are adding some of the chemicals in the laboratory, that what amount can be reacted with the another one. Okay, you cannot just mix the whole chemical in the another one, because that can react more, that can explode, that can have a different side effects. So you are just putting that chemicals or the particular things on which you are experimenting in a controlled manner. Okay, so that comes under the experimental research. Okay, so it also uses the randomization. Yes, you're not deciding that you just randomize the things. Okay, like for example, if you are experimenting on the particular population, so you just randomize the data. You're not like you're doing the random sampling. You are just putting it from the anywhere. Okay, you're not deciding exactly that from a particular group of population which people you're going to choose. No, you are just from that particular group of population, you're just choosing the person and you are just doing the experiment. That is a kind of randomization. It includes the pre-test and the post-test design. Yes, it is very important because, if you are observing particular thing, if you are doing research on a particular thing, you will first assert about the, what can be the results. Okay, so first you will do the pre-test, and after that, when the results will come, then you are going to design the post-test. Okay, on the basis of your results, that whatever you want, they are coming or not. Okay, so these are the important points. Now I am going to share some more points. Like, what are the three characteristics of the manipulation, characteristics of the experimental research? So I have already discussed with you, like, first can be manipulation. How manipulation, like, manipulation is defined as the first feature of experimental design. Manipulated conditions like independent variable can also be termed as a treatment or intervention. Manipulation of an independent variable must involve the active intervention of the research. So I have talked about the independent variable. Whenever you are manipulating the data with the help of independent variable, you are just finding out the results, and on the basis of that, you decide that your experiment is successful or not. Okay. Then after that, I have also discussed about the control, that how you are going to control with the help of, dependent and independent variable. Random assignments also I talked about. Now there is one more term in this experimental research, that is reflexivity. So what is reflexivity? This is very important term. You can just note it down. It refers to the circular relationship between the cause and effect. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Reflexivity is all about the circular relationship between the cause and effect. Cause and effect. It is a circular relationship. That what is a cause, what is the effect? Then again, that process is going to repeat. Okay. So like that, you are going to do experiment, because a reflexive relationship is bidirectional with both the cause and effects, affecting one another in the relationship which neither can be assigned as a cause or effect. For example, poverty is the main cause of the employment, is the main cause of the poverty. So this is very, very simple example for you all, that how cause and effects are connected. Like, there was example like which I have said right now, that poverty can lead to the unemployment, but unemployment can also lead to the poverty. So how the cycle works, you have to focus on that, and you have to remember this term reflexivity, because NTA asks this kinds of terms only in the paper, which can confuse you sometimes. Okay, even they can give you the the match the terms. There they will give you the term reflexivity, and there they will give you the meaning, cause and effect. So that kind of things you have to always keep in mind, that all are going to help you a lot during the attending the solving the questions. Now, which I have already discussed, like pre-experimental research. Under that, what can be the things I'm going to discuss about it? Okay. Sorry. So, pre-experiment refers to the experiment for the purpose of the comparison. You have to note it down, because that can be also asked, that why pre-experiment research design is used. Okay, so it is used for the purpose of comparison, and experimental design refers to the experiment, quasi-experiment, and some static experiment. Okay, so like, you are not always doing the full experiment. Okay, like in the case of social sciences, maybe in case of natural sciences, you can just do the full experiment, but in the case of social sciences, half of the things you are going to do with the help of observation, half of the things you are going to do with the help of experiments. Okay, so experiment can be sometimes quasi experiment, sometimes static experiments. Okay, sometimes they are not exactly true experiment, you can say. Okay, so pre-experiment are not typical experiment design. They are mainly used as an exploratory tool for comparison with the other experimental designs, okay, which we have already discussed. Now they are vulnerable to the internal and external validity. They have no control group for contrast. Okay, now here are the some of the basic types. I'm just going to tell you about the terms. I'm not going to tell about the in detail, because whatever I think that can be important, I just tell you about that. Okay, but yes, terms can be understood by us, because anything can come in exam. One short case study research design. Okay, there are the some types of the pre-experimental design that are one short case study. Another is one group pre-test post-test design, and there is a static group comparison. Okay, so first one is one short case study, means you are singly focusing on the case particular. Another one is you are focusing on the group. You are another at the last third one is you are focusing on the static group comparison. Okay, so you just remember about all these things. Okay, now I'm going to share one of the okay. Okay, I'm going to share our next PPT. Okay, because we discussed about the experimental research. Okay, now I'm going to share the slide. I think that is visible. Okay. Like descriptive research, we already discussed about it. Now, what is a historical research? Okay, this is also a very important one. So whenever we are talking about the study which involves the the past records, okay, and the events to understand the present and predict the future, that comes under the historical research. Okay, because whenever for example, you can say like if you are talking about the historical research related to the India-Pak war, so you're going to just find out, you're going to just study the past records of the India-Pak war. Okay, then you're going to understand that particular things, and after that you can easily predict the future. Okay, if the relation between the India and Pak was not good in the last previous 2 wars or 3 wars, so in the present war also it will be not good, because some of the issues still exist between the particular countries. Okay, India and Pakistan. So if you just want to take an example of historical research, you can just take an example of this India-Pak war. Okay. Now, what are the important points in the historical research? It uses the primary and secondary sources. Now, what are the primary and secondary sources? Can anyone tell me? If anyone, you can just tell me about that. Anyone? What are the primary and secondary sources?
Sir, primary source is like where you yourself is involved, and secondary is like you are collecting information based from someone else.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That's correct. Like whenever you are collecting the primary data, okay, like I was talking about the surveys and all, okay, that data is collected by you. Okay, you are collecting the data with the help of survey, you are collecting the data with the help of some of the tools. Okay, then that comes under the primary research, primary sources. When you are collecting data from the archives, you're collecting data from the secondary sources like the documents which is already available in the internet, in the libraries, which is already published. Okay, that comes under the secondary sources. So for the historical research also, what you are going to do, you are going to just go through the review of literature that comes under the secondary sources, because there you are going to just find out the case studies in the archives. That can be online, offline. Okay, that can be anything. You can just find out the government documents about the historical research on the India Pak War. Okay, you can conduct the survey. Okay, so that is the main important point in it, that in historical research you can use primary as well as secondary sources both. Another one is requires critical analysis and interpretation. Yes, because whenever you talk about the historical research or the things which related to the social sciences, it needs the critical analysis and interpretation. Okay, because maybe whatever you have presented in a front of people, that can have your own opinion. Sometimes it is possible, because whenever we are doing the research in the social sciences with the help of case studies or the content analysis, sometimes it is a kind of default in the researcher, like whatever they used to think about, whatever the ideology they have, they used to put that kind of content in their research. So it is very very common thing in the field of social sciences, whenever people just used to do only qualitative research. Okay, so for that it needs a critical analysis. Okay, so whenever you're going to share with the another people, they are just going to analyze it, they are just going to ask questions. So that is really helpful, and even good thing in the field of research, that can also help you to improve your research. It involves the chronology and the synthesis. Yes, yesterday we talked about the chronology, that uh, in a particular year-wise manner or in a particular order you have to arrange the questions and answers. Similarly, in the history, whenever you are talking about the dates and all, yes, you have to involve the chronology in that. When this particular thing took place, when this, in which year and all. Okay, so like here I have mentioned one trick, that H for historical insight, looking back to understand today. So this is all a trick I have mentioned. Like if you want to understand about the historical research, you can just uh, go for the term H, alphabet H, which also represent the historical and hindsight. That means looking backward to the understanding today. Understand today means whenever you are looking backward, it will help you understand today, because your past is connected with your present. Okay, and that is going to decide your future, which we have already discussed in the definition of historical research. Okay. Now, there is another type which we are going to discuss about. If there are some more points, I'm just going to add it, or otherwise I'm going to move to the another part. And this one more thing you can add in it, because historical research also describes about the phenomena. So it's also a part of descriptive research. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, so it is a part of descriptive research also. Okay, like yesterday we were talking about the action versus applied, but yes, applied research is also part of action research. Okay. So sometimes they are interconnected, so don't get confused. Okay. Now I'm going to share that screenshot again, so that will going to help you to understand the another types. Okay, I think that is clearly visible to everyone. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the exploratory research I think everyone can see this. This is a, okay, where it is. This is exploratory research, then correlation also I will talk about. Experimental we talked about, descriptive we talked about, exploratory research. What is exploratory research? Anyone can just give me the basic definition if they just want to give, then only. Anyone want to share that? What is exploratory research? What you understand from the exploratory research?
Sir, maybe it is like a research which you want to investigate, right?
Yes, definitely, sir. It is. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Because we already have this, many types of the research, then why we are studying the exploratory one? I'm just asking. Anyone else want to give answer?
To explore
Share.
finding the new
Yes,
things,
sir.
sir, I think.
Yeah, definitely, sir. You are correct. 100% correct. Okay, I have shared the another slide or what?
Yes, sir. There is a particular one situation, but at the same time, we have to question it why it is happened and what is the outcome of that particular
Yes,
part.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. So, like the participant said, yes, to explore the things, to find out the new data. Okay. For the different reason we used to do that. First, I will share that again because I think I shared the wrong one. Better standing of problem or issue. Definitely, sir. Okay, now it is again visible to everyone. Yes. So everyone, thank you so much for your response, because whenever we interact with the participants, it also helped me to understand that the things, how much I'm discussing with you all clear or not. So like when we talk about the exploratory research, yes, it is generally done for the at the beginning of research. Okay, whenever you're going to explore about the particular thing in the beginning of research, that comes under the exploratory research. Okay, like for example, like some of the participants said, when we used to do this research to investigate the possibility of undertaking particular research study. Okay, because without investigation you cannot explore the things. Okay, so that is one of the important reason behind doing exploratory research. First one is, whenever you are starting or beginning the research in a particular area, you have to explore. And how you can explore? You can just investigate. Okay, with the help of investigation you can just find out the data. Okay, so for example, a small scale industry is under the taking decide whether it is worth carrying out the detailed investigation. If I'm doing the pilot study on the small scale industry, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to understand, I'm just going to investigate the particular small scale industries helping the people over there or not. Okay, I'm just going to explore the things. Okay, because I have to start my research on that particular area, that a group of small scale industries are benefiting that area or not. Okay, so for that I have to do exploratory research. Okay, so it also attempts to clarify why and how there is a relationship between the two or more aspects of a situation or phenomenon. See, this is very important one, because whenever you are doing the exploratory research, it help you to understand the relationship between the two or more aspects. Like for example, if I'm saying that a particular small scale industries in a particular areas are helping them to grow their economical status. Okay, because if everyone is a part of that small scale industry, definitely they're going to earn money from that. So see, economics, small scale industries mean development, both have a relationship. Improve the it also improves the uh, human development index, because if the people are able to earn money, they have a proper food, they have a proper the things which are very useful in their regular lives, it also help them to increase their understanding. Even like, for example, uh, talked about the development, I talked about the human development. These all three aspects make is more better in a comparison of others. Okay. Going to find out the result, you are going to just find out the results with the help of exploratory research. This I want to say. Understand any phenomena from the starting, you have to explore. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of exploratory research? The main purpose is to gain back the ground information, define terms, clarify the problem, hypothesis, establish research priority, okay, and develop question to be answered. Like, see, I was discussing about example, small scale industry. So for gaining information, that is that particular industry really people or not, what you are going to do, you are just going to explore the things with the help of different tools. You are going to observe that, you are going to ask from people, you are going to have a survey, you are going to use different tools. Okay. So you can also conduct a focus group study. You can just collect data from the group of people, those who have got the benefit from the particular thing. So tools can be various tools you can use, but what are the main things that you have to keep in mind? You are collecting information from the ground. Again, you which are not clear that time, problems, that if there is any kind of problem, you can just clarify with the help of exploratory research. You can just ask people that what kind of problem you are facing with the due to the small scale industries. Maybe there can be noise pollution, maybe there can be any another pollution. Okay, so that can be based on your what you explore. You can also develop hypothesis. Okay. uh, okay, my voice is breaking. uh, Anyone else, those who are facing this issue? Is that my voice is clearly audible?
No, sir, not. It's clear now, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you so
Sometimes
much, sir.
I
Okay,
think
okay, sir.
you banned, sir. Excuse me. I
Yes,
think
sir.
your net connection is slow, sir.
Uh, Actually, yes, sir. I'm trying to connect it again because sometimes there is a issue with this.
That is only every 2 minutes it is breaking, sir.
Maybe
Okay, no worry, sir. But
I,
because of bandwidth, some problem, I think so.
yes, sir. I think now it is clearly audible because I had reconnected.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I was talking about the purpose. So things related to the maybe improvement, maybe the development, maybe the anything related
Sir,
to that particular research. Again, it was breaking.
no, now just now we are able to hear you, sir. Before we were not able to hear from last one minute
Okay,
or 30 seconds.
okay, sir. Again, I am reconnecting, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. I'm trying to reconnect, ma'am. Maybe that issue will be resolved. Okay. It's so I think my voice will be, again, it will be audible to everyone. I think it is audible.
It's very clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Now it's
Sometimes
clear.
only it is tracking.
So I hope that issue will resolve because I have reconnected. So I was talking about the hype, like whenever you are doing any research. So first, what you do? First, you assume okay, like you do the assumption, and on add your hypothesis. Okay, because your hypothesis will be validated, or at the end it will be not validated by your result. From the results that your hypothesis, whatever, is correct or not, your assumption is correct or not. Okay, so with the help of exploratory research, whenever you are going to start your value hypothesis, because there is a situation sometimes, like some of the people, those who are following the United Kingdom research pattern, or if someone is following the USA, like there can be some issues, even like some of the research methods use the UK pattern. They used to give hypothesis in their research, in some of the research. But in the case of USA pattern, people use the research question in the place of hypothesis. Okay, this is I'm adding because many times whenever we are finding out the research papers, I'm just adding it for your knowledge, that many times when you are downloading research papers or any kind of research work, maybe you can find hypothesis, or maybe you cannot find hypothesis. So it will depend on the patterns what people are following. But in the case of exploratory research, you can make your hypothesis. So that will help you to, validate your result. That will help you to, maybe your result can be correct, or that your hypothesis will be validate, or it will be null. Okay. So it also helps in establishing the research priorities objective and develop questions to answer. Okay, now why we are using exploratory research? It can also make use of secondary data, mainly literature review, experience survey, interviews, focus group interviews, techniques, and another. I discussed in the starting of this exploratory research that yes, if you are collecting the data, you can use different tools. You can do the survey, you can do the focus group discussion and all. So this all things will lead you to the quantitative as well as qualitative data. So whenever there is a mixed method used in any research, that makes your research. So that's why exploratory research is one of the another type of research and very useful in the beginning of any research. Okay, or when you are going to investigate, or the objective or aim from the beginning. Taking. Know what is happening today, because now is that
No, sir.
no
No,
clarity.
no, sir.
No, still it is not clear. Okay, maybe
Maybe, sir,
that issue can be. Yes, sir.
maybe, sir, in 5 minutes of time, if you can give to us,
Okay,
so that by
definitely,
then,
sir.
if your side, if things would have been resolved, it will be good. Again, we can start.
Yes, definitely, sir. I'm just rejoining it. After 5 minutes, we'll start. At 7:10, we will start. Okay. I'm just
Sure,
resolving
sir.
that issue. Okay. Okay, I think we can start again. I think now my voice is clearly audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now we are going to discuss about the another type, that is correlation research. Like on the basis of objectives, we already discussed about the descriptive, exploratory, experimental research. Now, I am going to discuss about the correlation. So correlation research is a non-experimental research method which is used to determine the relationship or association between the two or more variables. Again, when you just read the term correlation, it clear you about the there's a relationship between the particular one or two or more variables. Okay, so like when you used to talk about the key feature of the correlation research, you can measure the degree and direction of relationship between the variables. Okay, that at what like this is a mathematical terms. So whenever you are finding out the correlation with the help of the different softwares like SPSS, or the you are using the different formulas of correlation, then you can just measure the degrees and direction of relationship between the variable, that at what extent they used to impact each other. Okay? Variables are not manipulated by the researcher. In this, the researcher are not manipulating the variables, because in the previous research, like in experimental research we talked about, there is a manipulation of variables. Okay? Often this is used in the early stages of the research to identify the potential of variables for the experimental study. See, before conducting experimental study, to understand the potential, to know the potential of this variables, you can just perform the correlation research. Okay. You can also use some of the statistical methods, like which I have discussed, like you can use the mean, median, mode. You can use the different formulas of the correlation. You can use the softwares like SPSS and all. Okay. Now we will move to the another type of research on the basis of outcome, that is fundamental and applied research. I'm just sharing the another screenshot with you all that is going to help you a lot. Okay. Because we are going through the theoretical part, so it is very important to understand about the basic things. Then we can move to the solving the question and also question and answer also. Now I'm sharing it. Okay, so this is, I'm zooming it. So I'm just going to give you a brief detail about this all. What is fundamental applied research? Because we talked about the applied research yesterday also. So on the basis of outcome, there are the another two types. First one is fundamental, and the one is applied. So fundamental. Now, what is a one more question can ask by UGC NET? Fundamental research is also known as. Anyone can tell me about that? Yesterday we discussed about it. Fundamental research is also known as.
Basic research.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So fundamental research is also known as basic research. So yesterday when we were talking about the basic research, I discussed with you all that whenever you are starting with the the things, like for the purpose of addition to your knowledge, okay, you are just performing the basic research. Okay, basic research, like for example in your regular life also, in your daily work also, before buying any product you just do the basic research, okay, to understand about that particular product. Okay, to find out the or to do the discovery or invention also, you perform the basic research. Okay, for example, if you are going to invent any product, okay, on the basis of your daily observation, on the basis of your like knowledge, whatever you have gained from the previous research, you can invent new product from the ideas which you can take from the previous research. Okay, so mostly this fundamental research is performed. Okay, and in natural sciences, this fundamental research is performed by the people more. Okay. Now, what is applied research? This also we have discussed yesterday. Whenever you are finding out the solution of the existing problem, what you just do that you apply that particular research to give the solution. Okay. Like I was talking about the COVID vaccination yesterday. Okay. That how to solve that particular problem. Scientists researched on the vaccine and they applied that, okay, to solve that issue. There is a practical use of that all things in solving a problem, like I discussed many times, like that to understand about the virus, scientists practical on the viruses, that which kind of medicines are going to put impact on them. Okay, and like it was extensive in nature, it is intensive in nature. Okay, so like for example, I'm just sharing that another one that will clear you all doubts. So if I will get the diagram, that will clear you all doubts. Okay, I got the okay. So this diagram is actually not related to this. Okay, that's fine. If I will get that diagram, I will definitely share again. Okay, we'll move to the another type because already there is 7:18 right now. I'm sharing that again. What are the another types? Because we discussed about this yesterday only. Okay. So on the basis of outcome we discussed. Now on the basis of logic we are going to discuss about. Okay, that how this research on the basis of inductive and deductive. Because yesterday also we talked about the deductive and inductive approach. So like basically when you are preparing, you are talking about the preparation of the theory, we just used to do the deductive and inductive type of research, or you are just using the deductive and inductive approach. So I'm just giving you the brief of that both of the approaches. When you talk about the deductive approach, it is also termed as a top to down or general to specific approach. Okay, means first you start with the hypothesis based on the theory or research, whatever you have. Like in the case of inductive, you are starting with the observation, but in the case of deductive approach, you are starting with the hypothesis which you get from the particular theory or principles. Then to test that hypothesis, you are collecting data. Okay, and after that you make decision that whatever hypothesis you took, you have to accept it or reject it. Okay, So this is very basic one. Now, in the case of inductive approach, what you do, you start with the observing the different phenomena in the world, and you search for the pattern in what is observed. Means, for example, I was discussing the term which we were using yesterday was the generalization. Okay. So if the thing which is commonly observed in the various parts or in the various situation, if it is observed, then you just make a generalization about what is occurring. Okay. So that is inductive approach. Okay. So here we move from specific to general. Okay. And in the case of deductive approach, we move from general to specific. So this can be a question in the UGC NET, that in deductive approach, you maybe there can be option top to down, general to specific, specific to general. Okay, like this, there can be a 4 options. So you have to understand that in deductive approach, we are just moving top to down or general to specific. And in the inductive approach, we are just moving specific to general. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so these are the basic things which we have discussed about the deductive and inductive approach. Now, another thing is a process. On the basis of process, quantitative and qualitative research method. Okay. See, qualitative and quantitative are the approaches also. Okay. On the basis of that, by using that approaches, you can do research, qualitative or quantitative. I'm going to share a comparison table between both of them, so that will clear our all doubts, because yesterday also we discussed a lot on this. But by sharing that table, it will clear our doubt more. Okay. So I think that is clearly visible to everyone. I will just zoom it so it will more clear to everyone. We will start with the first point, that what is a basic difference, and even this this difference between the qualitative research is going to help you in the exam, as well as in if you are the scholar, if you are the researcher, definitely it is going to help you a lot, because most of the things work around the quantitative and qualitative research. Okay, so we'll first start with the first point, then we'll understand. So whenever we used to talk about the qualitative research, it is very clear to the researcher what to do, what not to do, by employing statistical, logical, and mathematical techniques. So with the help of example, I'm going to just explain you. Yesterday, I was talking about the three laws of Newton. It is mentioned in that all 3 laws that if anything, I'm not briefing you about the theory part, but I'm just choosing the one of that particular law. If it is mentioned in that law that if every action is having opposite and equal reaction, it is mentioned in that. So it is very clear to researcher that whatever he is going to perform according to the Newton's 3rd law of motion, he or she is going to get that effect only which is mentioned by the Newton. Okay, so he is very clear. He or she is very clear with that. Okay, what to do, what not to do, by employing statistical, logical, and mathematical techniques. Yes, because most of the quantitative research performed by the subjects like the physics, the subjects those who comes under the natural sciences, chemistry, physics, bio, and all. Okay, so everything is clear to the researcher that This is the thing which is already mentioned by the researchers in the previous research. And like we yesterday talked about, the reliability means if they are going to perform that same research today also, which is performed means 50 years back, that is, they are going to get same result. Okay, so it is very clear to them. Okay, by using that particular formulas, statistics, logical formulas, mathematical formulas, they can just get the same result which was, the if the experiment was conducted by the previous research 50 years back. But when we used to talk about the qualitative research, here the main objective is to develop the understanding on human beings, okay, or social sciences, to know what people feel and think. So yesterday also we talked about it, like if you want to measure the human behavior with the help of facts, figures, numbers, that is not possible. So this is a basic difference, because quantitative research is done by the subjects, those who are having the particular formulas, those who are following the natural sciences, or they have a each and everything mentioned with them, which is not going to change. Okay, but in the case of qualitative research, human behavior can change anytime. Okay, the structure of society can be changed anytime. The structure of the population in a particular area can be changed anytime. Okay, so this is the first basic difference. Now, another is that my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Actually, there was again, it was showing me I'm reconnecting. That's why I asked. Thank you, ma'am. So yesterday I talked about the objectivity, where we are using the data, facts, figures, or numbers. Okay, so in the case of quantitative research, they use objective approach. Okay, they use objective approach. You can just see this, and that describes the explanation and quantify the problem. But in the case of quantitative research, they are using the subjective research. What does subjective research means? This subjective research means they are including the opinions of the another people. They are including uh, the ideas. They are including the thinking. Okay, means they are not just talking about the quantitative data. They are not talking about the numbers. Okay, so because here I have already mentioned that this qualitative research is all about uh, understanding the what people think and feel, and you cannot measure the feelings and thinking of people with the help of numbers. Okay, so this is another basic difference between the quantitative and qualitative research. Now, there is another thing, that the approach is top to down. Can anyone tell me that where this approach, in which method we use top to down approach? Anyone? Because that can be the MCQ question.
Deductive method. Deductive.
Thank you so much for your responses. Definitely it is correct. In the deductive method, we use this top to down. Okay, general to specific. So in this, bottom to up. But in this top to down, what they're talking about, what and when. Keep all this thing in mind, that in quantitative research, they are talking about the what and when. But in the case of qualitative research, they are talking about how and when. Okay. And approach is bottom to up, means inductive approach. Okay. Now, there is another difference. This follows the general to specific approach, This basically follows deductive reasoning that starts from the theory, it forms a hypothesis, then goes for observation and finally confirms the hypothesis. That was the basic example I was giving you, like from yesterday onwards. I was talking about the Newton's law. Means if anyone wants to check the Newton's law of motion again and again, that is there is any changes, then what they will start with the theory, what Newton gave, and then on the basis of that they are going to form hypothesis. They are going to have some assumptions, and after that they are going to perform experiments. They are going to do experiments, and on the basis of that they will observe the results, and after that on the basis of their results they are going to say their hypothesis is correct or their hypothesis is wrong. But in the case of qualitative research, it starts with the observation. Like the data is mainly verbal, such as word and images. Because if, like in the journalism, we used to say that one picture is having 1,000 words. Okay, one of the prominent photographers said this, that one picture is having 1,000 words. So in qualitative research, if you are observing anything, you are just going to analyze that. You're not focusing on the previous theories or principle. Here you start with the observation. And how it can be possible? It can be possible with the help of in-depth interviews. It can be possible with the focus group discussion, observation, document reviews, means secondary sources if you are using. So we make use of content analysis to obtain and interpret information. The sample size are less in number. Okay, so see, these are the one of the basic difference between the quantitative and qualitative. And again, I will repeat, in a comparison of any research type, these two types are very important. Okay, because they are going to help you a lot in your future research work, in your PhD research work, in your UGC NTA NET exam and all. Okay. Now, after that, there is another difference. That is, okay, I'm just zooming it out. Okay. So, in this quantitative research, random sampling is a type of probability sampling in which the researcher randomly selects a subset of participants from a population. Each member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. This randomization is meant for objective and unbiased approach in scientific method. Okay. See, in the case of quantitative, you are doing the random sampleization. Okay. You are doing the random sampling, where you are just choosing people from the particular place, just random choose. You're not knowing them, you're not previously have a contact with them. You just choose them, and from a particular group of population, you just take them. Okay. But in the case of qualitative research, you are doing the non-random sampling. Okay, where the sample selected will be based on the factors such as convenience, judgment, experience of research, and not on probability. Okay, this you have to keep in mind. In the case of quantitative research, they are talking about the random sampling on the basis of probability. But in the case of qualitative, they are talking about on the basis of convenience. How convenient it is for you to take the data. Maybe you can take data from your nearby people. Okay, that is, if it is convenient, then you can take. On the basis of judgment, on the basis of experience, what you have, on the basis of that, you can just collect the data, not on the basis of probability. Okay, like you are not just choosing them. You are deciding properly that these are my sample. This particular population is my sample. Okay. All units of population do not an equal chance of participating in the survey. If you are doing survey, in the case of qualitative research, each and every person, they will not get equal chance. because you already decide that to whom you have to take as your sample. But in the case of quantitative, you are there, each and everyone is going to have a equal opportunity and equal chances to be work as a sample. But in the case of qualitative, it is not possible. Okay. So therefore, the results cannot be generalized for the population. See, yesterday I was talking about the biasness, and in the Western countries, people used to see qualitative research as a kind of biased research. This is the basic reason, because whenever you are taking the random samples, it makes your study more reliable. Because in the case of, if that study is conducted by someone else in the another place, maybe related to that issue only, so most of the time the results are same. Most of the time, I'm saying, not every time I'm saying. Okay, but in the case of this qualitative research, many times, not most, it many times your results can be mismatched. There is no any kind of match. Maybe there can be fabricated data used in qualitative research sometimes. Okay, which leads it to the questioning the reliability and validity of that research. So this is the basic difference. Now, at the end, result oriented inquiry, like in quantitative research, the results are specific and thus findings are more generalizable. They're more generalized. Okay, they can be used in the different places. But in the cases of this qualitative, the results are descriptive and thus findings are less generalizable. So these are the basic things which we have to discuss about these two, like qualitative and quantitative research, and both of them are very important. Okay, now I will come back to the that another types of research, because this was the one of the biggest part of the research aptitude. So that's why it is taking more time. Okay, because understanding each and every type is very important. Now, another is structured and unstructured research, and at the end, conceptual and empirical research. They are the another types. Okay. Okay. So, what is structured and unstructured research? Can anyone tell me? Because it is very simple. Okay, because in yesterday also we talked about a lot. We talked about it, that what is structured one, what is unstructured. When we started the definition of research only, then only we talked about the what is research. So whenever there is a research, like whenever you are doing the particular things in a systematic manner, that comes under the structured. Okay, if you are following the particular steps, like you are finding out your problem, review of literature, that I'm going to show you, then it will you will understand what I'm talking about. Sharing it, just sharing it. Sorry, wait for a second. I'm sharing, just sharing that. Okay. I'm zooming it. I think this is clearly visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So I was talking about the structured and unstructured research. See, whenever you are preparing the structured research, you have a particular steps. Okay. Like you start with the formulation of research problem, and to perform that, to find out your research problem, what you do the review of literature there, or literature review. Okay, on the basis of that, whenever you find out the research gaps, or whenever you found out something left in that particular researches, you used to formulate your objective on the basis of that, because maybe some of the assumptions you already have, but whenever you are going through the literature review, you just add some new points in your hypothesis. Okay, so after doing literature review, there is a formulation of objectives. Then after that, you're identifying the research variables and measuring scales. Then at the end, you are formulating the hypothesis. So this is the first step. See, first step includes all these important things in the structured research. Okay. Now, after that, in the step 2, when you are preparing your research design, because research design basically, can anyone tell me, because this is also one of the important question, research design is also known as what of the research? Like, for example, like you can have options like backbone. You can have options like, okay, someone replied. Definitely, ma'am. 100% correct. It can be known as the blueprint of research. And this question also asked by UGC NET. Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your response. So that can be also known as blueprint of the research. Okay. Another thing is, after that, when you prepare your research design, it have a problem structure, it have a study design, it have a experimental study, non-experimental study, whatever you want to conduct. For example, whenever you are preparing research design, it help you to save your time also. It help you to save your money also. Like, if, for example, if you are having a blueprint of any building what you are making, okay, as a like civil engineer, for example, if you have a blueprint, then definitely on time you can complete your work on time, using less money, or making it more less use of more money. You can make it more cost efficient. Okay, so with the help of research design, which is also known as the blueprint of the research, you can just save your time, you can just save your money, and even you can complete your research in a proper direction in a particular period of time. That's why research design is also very important. So this is the another step. Now third step is developing data. Okay, means how you are going to collect data, you are going to decide that. Okay, that you're, what are the types of data you are going to have. Okay, that because under random sampling also there are different types of data you are going to collect. What will be your method of data collection, like what things you're going to use survey or something else you are going to use. Like design research tool, you will also design research tool according to the research question. Okay, because many of the times those who are pursuing the PhDs and all, they used to design their research tool for the various hypotheses what they have prepared, because it is not possible to solve each and every hypothesis or solve each and every research question with the same tool. So like, which I have discussed earlier, like in the qualitative research also, people sometimes use the quantitative tools. Okay, that makes their research more reliable and validated. Okay, so after developing data collection instrument, what you are doing, you are selecting the sampling, non-probability sampling. Okay, what will be the sample design? This is the fourth step. which we have already discussed in the random and non-random sampling. Then after that, you are writing a research proposal. Main element, need, what is a need, what is a benefit, types of data, justification of the funds and resources. I'm just explaining you the basic steps. Then you collect the data, then processing and analyzing the data. Then at the end, you submit the research report. Because these all have, like in collection of data, you can collect data with the help of observation, interviews, questionnaires, schedules, and all. Okay. In processing data, you can use tabulation, analysis. Okay, various tools you can use. In writing research report, you can use title page, table of content, chapters, bibliography, okay, appendices. So these all are the structured steps of the structured research. In the case of unstructured research, these all steps, maybe people are not going to use all these steps, because a standard research follow all these steps. Okay, so that is a structured and unstructured research. Okay. Now, another thing which I'm going to share, we have already discussed qualitative, quantitative, and all. I think which one left? This is last part of our session today, because with this, our methods on basis of classification, we are going to end this. I'm going to share that slide again. I think it is clearly visible to everyone. Okay, thank you, ma'am. On the basis of idea and concept, they are the conceptual empirical research. About this empirical research. Anyone, those who want to tell me about empirical research, because conceptual research is, I think, with the term also it is clear. Anyone, can you tell me about the empirical research? Anyone? Because yesterday we discussed about it. Anyone?
Sir, as we had discussed it yesterday, it is based on the observation, sir.
Okay, sir. That's correct.
Yes.
Someone else want to add something?
Yes, sir. It is based on personal experience, which we feel or are biased experience for that particular research.
Definitely. So I think that is already clear to everyone. So that is really good, because both of the participants gave correct answer. Okay. So conceptual and empirical research is also like, the conceptual research based on the concepts, and empirical is based on the, similarly like the qualitative versus quantitative. Most of the types of research, you can a kind of idea is same only in the different types of research. Like in the conceptual, you use the concepts, okay, which is already defined. But in the case of empirical, it is based on the observation and experiences. Definitely, sir. Okay. So these all are the types of research we discussed today. Now we will move to the some of the questions. Okay. That is going to help us to understand the basics of the research. First, I will share with the help of PPT. Then I'm going to share with the help of some of the another questions from the references books. Okay. I'm sharing our slide those who have a question, because I have already mentioned giving the answer. Please just unmute yourself and give the reason behind the option which we have choose as answer. So it will help us to understand also that if you're giving any answer, that why it is that particular answer you're giving. Okay. So I have shared the PPT. Okay, I think it is visible. First question is, which method establishes cause and effect relationship? Answers is C, experimental. Can anyone tell me? Just by unmuting yourself, you can tell me that why answer C, experimental, is there. I just want to understand the basic reason behind this.
Cause and effect, sir.
Yes, sir, it is mentioned, but how you will connect them, cause and effect, how you will connect the cause and effect means on which thing you are going to prove that this is cause and effect relationship. That I'm asking,
It's a
not because we have
relationship
discussed.
between, it's a
Yes, yes,
relationship
Prabhu.
between variables by manipulating.
Yes, yes, definitely. That is a correct answer. Thank you so much, ma'am. So whenever we are talking about the cause and effect relationship, there is a variables present in it. And as we already discussed in the experimental study, that whenever you are manipulating the variables, that is going to provide you the data related to your what you want as a result. Okay, maybe your hypothesis can be proved correct, or maybe it can be proved wrong on the basis of manipulation. And I was talking about the cause and effect cycle. Okay, like I talked about the poverty relationship with the unemployment, and unemployment relationship with the poverty. I know. Okay, poverty. So this was the correct answer of the first question. Another is, which method deals with the numerical data? I think it is very simple one. Okay. But if I want to ask that what kind of numerical data means, how you can collect numerical data in the quantitative process, then anyone can tell me what can be the methods of collecting
Through
numerical
survey.
data in the yes, ma'am.
Through survey.
Survey. Anything else, ma'am? Any another tools, ma'am? Survey is correct.
It focused on statistics.
Okay.
Records.
Anyone else want to add? Records, okay. Both the answers are correct. Anyone else want to add some points in it? That what can be the tools of collecting numerical data? First was survey, another was the records. Anything else?
Polls, interviews.
Definitely. Content
Based on,
analysis is also. Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am.
based on deductive.
Based on deductive. Okay. So there can be different tools, what participants also discussed, even some of the tools we also discussed during the sessions. So quantitative is A is a correct answer, which is dealing with the numerical data. Now third one is, which method studies the past event? That is historical. I think there is nothing to understand about that in the historical research. Okay. Actually, wait for a second. Which tools help in a reference or management of the reference management? Which tool helps in the reference management? Answer is Zotero. Anyone knows about the Zotero? What it do? How it works?
No, sir.
Okay. Basically, Zotero is a software. I can show you the interface also. Zotero is a software through which you can just choose link from the research paper, and you will just put it in that Zotero, it is going to give you reference of that whole research paper. Not only by copying and pasting, you can just put your research paper in that. Then also it will give you data. I'm going to show you, because if you will see that, that will be helpful for you to understand. I think that user interface will be clearly visible to everyone. Is that visible to everyone? That Zotero interface is visible to everyone? So this is Zotero. Like I have used 2 research paper here. I will show you. That will, at least you will remember about the software, because whenever we used to see particular visuals or something, we can remember that particular things for a long period of time. That's why I'm showing you. Like, see, every detail by this related to the research paper I got here. I think it is clearly visible to everyone, even abstract also. See. Okay. Author name is not mentioned here because it will depend, like, author, what you're going to choose. Like, you're going to choose APA method, MLA method, or any other methods. It depends on your subject. Most of the language or literature subject use the MLA method. Okay. And most of the social sciences subject use the APA method. It depends on what method you choose for the referencing. Okay. Now I'm going to share that slide again. Now, last question is, which principle is not a part of research ethics? So, honesty is already a part of research ethics, because we should avoid the copying and pasting of the data, which comes under the plagiarism. I think there's a, okay, that is plagiarism only. Honesty, like if you are fabricating the data, if you are manipulating the data, okay, so honesty is important. Plagiarism is also, like, as a part of ethics. Confidentiality is also part of that. Integrity is not part of that. Okay, so I think these are the basic questions we discussed. Now I'm going to share some of the another questions. Okay, that is going to help us to understand some of the more basics of research. I'm just sharing that. Okay, so I'm sharing that for a second. I think that is clearly visible to everyone. I think that is clearly visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Now it's time for you all to solve this question. I will start with the first question and you are going to give answer in the chat box. First question is, researches, option A is a purposeful, systematic or activity, like B is conducted for purely academic purpose, C is conducted to answer questions about the practical issues, and third one is a random unplanned process of discovery. Now it's your time to give answer, which is a correct answer of that particular question. Okay, most of the people are saying it is A. A, okay. I'm just waiting to check that, but I just want the most of the confirmation from the most of the people. So most of them are saying A, okay. Anyone else? Those who want to try, because till yet we have not tried the questions which do not have answers, which do not have answers. So please, you can just, okay. A. Most of the people are saying A. Okay. So, okay, D. Someone is saying D. That's okay. So, most of the people, those who said A, that is a 100% correct answer. It is a purposeful, systematic, and systematic activity. Okay. Because whenever you are going to do research, there is a purpose, there is an aim, there is an objective, and in a systematic manner, you are going to perform it. Now it's time for second question. I'm not going to just repeat that. Now you will just read that question. Is that question is clearly visible to everyone in the screen? Is that question is clearly visible? Okay. Then please just mention your answer related to the. I'm just zooming it to help you. Okay, I think it is now clearly visible. Okay, please tell me what will be the answer, because this is a question where you have to choose the multiple options. Okay. Okay, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're saying D. I'm just waiting for the answers. D. Okay, most of the participants are saying D. Okay. So yes, D is a correct answer, because whenever we are talking about the main objective of research, this all objective comes under it. Okay, like to achieve research objective, which can general as well as specific. That is the need of research, to get the valid, reliable, accurate data, to solve the problems of this space, to gain familiarity with the new phenomena. Definitely they are the correct answer. Now I'm going to share the another. A grand theory. Can anyone tell me about that? Because this time I'm going to ask what is grand theory also. So please, after giving answer, just I will choose one of the participant and I will ask them what is grand theory. So please just put your options and I will choose from the chat box, and I will just ask to understand that what is grand theory. That will also help me that to understand that whatever the concepts are clear or not. Okay. Please, you can just give answers. D. Okay. Most of the people are saying D. C, okay. Anyone else? Okay, grand means good and perfect. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for your response. Like this also, you can just share your answer in the chat box. Anyone else want to share? I think 4 answers we received till yet. C, okay. So I think there are two answers. Those who are saying that it is C. Okay. So I think that grand theory is new for maybe it's new for someone, like some of the participants not knowing about the grand theory. Okay. Example, feminism. So when we used to talk about the grand theory, like it refers to the like talking about the human experiences, like society or communication, means it is talking about the wide range of things. Okay. So and most of the time you cannot just test all that thing. So answer C is correct, broad explanation of phenomena in a discipline. Okay, because it is having a wide range of things to cover, like, because it covers the communication, it covers the human experience, it covers the society. So different phenomena, explanation of different phenomena in the various discipline. Okay, so C, answer C is correct. Thank you so much for your responses. Now another question is, or you can have a screenshot of this question, so even we can discuss tomorrow also, because already I have took 8 minutes more, and 2-hour session is maybe sometimes boring for you all also, I know. So if you will say yes, then I will you can just have this screenshot of this, and we can just discuss all this thing tomorrow also. Wait for a second.